Today we are going to make our own cultured butter. In Denmark right now we are in the middle of December and cream is on sale for 5 kroner, and that is less than $1 for half a liter, so that's really cheap. So I'm going to take all of this cream, 2 liters, and then some of this little yogurt, about half of this, and then I'll mix it together, and then this will stay at room temperature for 1 to 2 days. So now that it is mixed together, I will put on my lid and I will place it on the bathroom floor because it's a little hotter out there. In the kitchen it's pretty cold right now. So there it will stay for 2 days, and then I'll put it in the fridge for at least 1 hour before I will mix it in my mixing bowl. If it's too hot or warm, the butter will not thicken as well and it will get really greasy. So that is why it has to be cold. So now I'm just mixing it, and first it will become this really thick whipping cream, and shortly after this the butter and the buttermilk will separate from each other. So it only has to be mixed for maybe 30 more seconds. So now it's already separated, and I can take out all of the buttermilk from the butter and wash the butter afterwards. And you can really see the milk just dripping out from the butter. So that is a good sign that we are there. And I have lined my colander with a cloth so that I can pour it into that, and I can get the buttermilk out of the butter. I will link the recipe down in the description, and accordingly to the recipe you don't need that cloth, but I find it a lot easier this way. So I'm trying to get all of the buttermilk out this way, and you can already see there's a lot in the bottom of this tub. But after this I found out that it was a lot easier just to take the cloth and then press it out like if I was milking a cow. I could really press out a lot more buttermilk this way, so I'm glad I did that. And now I just pour the buttermilk into a Tupperware and put it in my fridge, and there was a little more than 1 liter of buttermilk. And then I can use this for some baking or anything that I want to use it for. If you're going to use your butter right away, you can just do that and you don't need the next step. But I want to keep some of this in my fridge and then the rest in the freezer. So I'm going to wash my butter. So I am dividing it into 2 so it's more manageable. And then accordingly to the recipe, I think you only needed to have it in the bowl and then under some cold water and press it out like that. So that's what I'm trying first off. But the second portion I did it a little differently. I just took it up into my hands and let the cold water run on top of it, and that way I could just press out all of the buttermilk. But you have to do this all the way until the water is clear, and then you know there's no more buttermilk in it. And this step will give it a longer shelf life in the fridge, or else it will go rancid really fast. And I got almost 800 grams of butter out of this portion, and I paid only about 20 krona, which is about $3. So normally I could not even get 200 grams of butter for this price. So this is really cheap. Now I'm just preparing some foil that I will put the butter into, and I divided it up to 300 grams for, in 2 packets for the freezer, and then 200 grams in the fridge. And I just put in 1% of salt, so for 300 grams I put in 3 grams of salt, and this is some flaky salt. And then I'm just working it into the butter, and then I'll put it onto the foil and shape it the way I want. And if you wanted to make some garlic butter or herb butter, you could also do that right now before you put it in the foil, and then you would have that in your freezer as well. So this bowl is for my fridge, where I have 200 grams in, and then the other 2 packets I have 300 grams, and they are for the freezer for later use. So thank you so much for watching again. I hope you want to subscribe, or else you can go and follow us on Instagram at Vestas Farm Life. Bye bye.